There's a huge sacrifice that people don't think about. You know, most people think, oh, I'm going to start a company, 2 months later it's going to be worth $1 billion, and I'm going to make a fortune. That is actually not what happens to 99% of people. I was working once at an ice cream parlor when I was about 15 years old, my first real job. And on the second day, I was asked to scrape the gum off between the Mexican tiles on the floor. And I said to the woman who owned the store, it was called Magoo's Ice Cream Parlor, you didn't hire me to scrape gum, you hired me to scoop ice cream. And there's this girl in the shoe store across the way that's looking at me. I don't want her to see me scraping the gum. And she said, what are you talking about? I own this store. I'll do anything I want with you. Get down on your knees and scrape that gum. And I said, I'm not doing it. She said, you're fired. Last job I ever had. I owe that woman everything. I don't like to work for people. Many of you in here, I hope, inherit that. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you want to control your own destiny, you work for yourself. That's how it works. I'm trying to inspire those of you who are on the tipping point. Take the chance, you're young. Go for it. There's nothing better than being able to wake up in the morning 10 years or 20 years from now and do whatever you like.
One of the best things that you can do when trying to become successful is figure out how you can manage your time. If you figure out how to manage your own time, it's going to be like a superpower to everybody else. If you know how much time you've got in a day and what time you need to devote to what tasks, what goals, and what things that you need to do in your day, it's truly incredible, and you're going to use your time so much more efficiently than people who don't wake up with a plan. Planning is key. If you can figure out how to manage your time, it's going to be so much easier, and you're going to be able to get that goal, achieve that success that you want significantly faster than you would if you didn't. One of the best things that you can do is wake up in the morning and write down your goals every single day. That way you feel yourself writing, you know what you're writing down, and you discover new ways to go about that because it is constantly in the forefront of your mind every single day when you wake up. You're constantly thinking, how can I achieve this goal? How can I do this? How can I do that? And once you start figuring out ways to do that, write them down. A big thing that you can do is just write things down because then your mind knows it and you physically wrote it down. So you made it from a thought to a reality. If you have the biggest dreams and you're constantly striving to do something big, start with writing it down to open your eyes and figure out how you can constantly become the best version of yourself. And it is by no means going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. It's going to push you to breaking points and you're going to fail, but you have to know how to rise to the occasion.
Fortunately, one of the great benefits of technology is productivity. One of the big downsides, it's incredibly distracting. People check their Twitter account, or they'll answer a Facebook message, or they'll do something that has nothing to do with making money. And the reason you go to work in the morning is to make money. That's what you're there for. All the other wonderful things you can do with your time are based on your ability to create an income for yourself and your family. So why spend any time doing all that crap, which is distracting? And so that's the number one thing I find in my companies is when you see someone failing and you look at how they manage their time, you'll see right there what's going on. They're not focused on what matters.
You know, I tried working for somebody when I was very young and they fired me. Right, and it was a very, very profoundly, affected me profoundly, and I just said, I'm never working for anybody again. It doesn't mean your life is easier. In fact, you have to have a lot of sacrifices on the road to success and a lot of failures along the way. I just find it a more interesting way to spend your time, and I really believe in this concept of money buys freedom. And so, you know, I think it's a very noble pursuit for some percentage of the people out there, but not for everybody, because you have to sacrifice a lot for the period that you're working on your business, and not everybody wants to do that. And I think you find that in your own. You start down that path, and if it's too much of a sacrifice, you revert back to being an employee. It's very noble to do that too, but it's not the same thing. It takes a long time to set yourself free working for somebody else.
The reason most people fail in business is they make the assumption they're good at everything, and they're egotistical maniacs. And even when it starts to fail because of their own inadequacies, they don't stop themselves. That's a typical situation. So you have to look yourself in the mirror. And this is hard to do sometimes, and say, what am I really good at and what do I suck at? Because you don't want to spend any of your time doing things you're no good at. I'll give you an example. I hate logistics and operations. When you run a software company, you have to make 10 million disks a month. You don't like that, you better find a guy who knows how to do that. And you better make him your partner very early on in the process. And I mean partner. I mean you give him something. You give equity up to fulfill the weaknesses in your own portfolio. That is the key to success.
I've also learned over a long career that everybody's replaceable. I love it when somebody says to me, "Oh, we can't get rid of that person. They're irreplaceable." I fire them right there. Everybody has to understand that whatever you do, somebody can do it better. You have to bring your A game in every single day. There's nothing unique about any one individual. What's unique is their passion, their ability to execute, to meet targets and exceed them. The minute you lose that ability, in capitalism, you're gone. It's a fair trade. The engine that makes you rich can take it all away from you. There are no guarantees.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comments section below.